What's up, guys, and welcome to another live edition of the Spoken Truth Podcast. And today we have game one of the Western Conference Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. I cannot hold my assignment for these Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to get into everything West and Eastern Conference Finals in this show. But right now, we have the live game of the Warriors and the Mavericks, 14-13 in favor of Golden State with about 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter. So right now, I want to propose the question to you guys. Who are the key players from their respective teams in this series?
I was kind of thinking about this earlier. I think, it's kind of the secondary players, especially for the Warriors. I think Andrew Wiggins needs to be at a high level on defense, especially. And then they need guys like Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole to be really good on both ends. At least one of those guys consistently every single game, scoring 25, plus points. If they can get that and the defense plays at a high level, then I think they can close this series out. But, those are probably the two or three guys that I would point to.
And for the Mavericks?
For the Mavericks, Go ahead, Tunde.
No, go ahead, please.
I want to get both of your perspectives on each team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard to look past Luka. I mean, he has to be obviously playing and creating and doing everything for that team. But we saw when Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson, I think they combined for 54 in that Game 7 win. When those guys are playing like that, as we talked about a few weeks ago, guys like Maxi Kleber and Dorian Finney-Smith, when they're shooting, so you kind of trade it off. If you can get the backcourt going or you can get the shooters clicking, then this team can, I feel like, pull off an upset. But, we don't always see those guys all clicking at the same time.
Sunday.
So I'm kind of taking this question as like who's the X factor question.
Yes.
What players maybe on the margins will make the biggest difference. So with the Warriors, I'm going to go with, Jonathan Kuminga, actually. The guy who we've seen, they've been willing to give some minutes to over the course of the first two series that they've played. I won't bear the lead here. I don't think the Warriors really have a soul who can guard Luka Doncic, but if they are going to have somebody do it on ball consistently, I think Jonathan Kuminga will probably get a crack at it at some point in this series, just with his physical profile, his length, and athleticism. So his point of attack defense on Luka is going to be something I'm interested in over the course of this series, and just how many chances he does get out there to do that. From the Dallas Mavericks side of things, I'm going to go with Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie struggled for large chunks of that Dallas or of that Phoenix series, especially when they were on the road. We saw him play very well in Game 7, and we saw Game 7 be a runaway. I think if Spencer Dinwiddie plays well, this is going to be like that. That changes everything for Dallas. If Spencer,
I would say hold your picks. Yeah,
it changes everything for them, especially if he's able to get to the rim, and especially if he's able to, put pressure on the rim. Against the Warriors team, what we've seen is a bit susceptible to that sort of thing at times.
For me, the Warriors, I think the X factor will be Poole. Simply because I don't think the Mavs has the firepower to match up with the Warriors, specifically if you're talking about Klay, Steph, and Poole. If they're, clicking on all cylinders, I don't think the Mavs have an answer for all three of them hitting their shots. So I really think the X factor in this series for the Warriors will be Jordan Poole, but also Andrew Wiggins, because I believe he's going to get, as we see in Game 1, he's getting the first crack at Luka Doncic. So to see how much Andrew Wiggins, now you're not going to stop Luka, just like you're not going to stop Steph, but you can slow them down and make them play at a pace that they don't want to play at. Now that's incredibly hard for Luka because he plays at a slow pace anyways. So taking him and trying to speed him up a little bit maybe what the Warriors are looking to do because Luka plays at a slow pace. So the Warriors want to get out and running in transitions. They want to get up and down the court, offense and defense. So their key to me is going to be tiring Luka out. Now, will it work? Where that's to be seen. But I think that's their strategy moving forward, playing this team. And the Warriors have so many bodies that they can throw at Luka: Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond, Clay. There's so many bodies the Warriors can throw at Luka. I don't think Dallas can counteract that with Steph. And for the Mavs, I believe both of you said a version of Dinwiddie. He has to be able to make his shots. Brunson has to be able to make his shots. They have to be able to hit threes in order for Dallas to have a chance in this series. It cannot just be Luka or bust. I think over the course of the last week and a half, 2 weeks, Luka is something about him trusting his teammates now to make shots, making the right plays is one of the reasons why the Dallas Mavericks are in this position. Because in the first series and then last year, you could kind of tell that Luka really wasn't buying into his teammates. So he would play iso ball one-on-one a lot. And Jason Kidd has really helped him transform that into playing team basketball. And he has instilled a trust in his teammates that he didn't have before. So that's going to be fascinating to see if they can hit those key shots when Luka is struggling, because they tend to play a little better without Luka on the floor. I know that might sound a little crazy, but for me, no, I'm not saying.
The team or the role players.
I think the role players.
I feel like it's mainly just maybe Brunson.
But I think they play a little better when he's not on the floor because he's not dominant with the ball. There's no one that's dominant with the ball. Obviously, they can't win if Luka's not on the court. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think the role players, it's like a sense of relief when he's not on the floor because I don't have to pass it to him all the time. So I could just shoot. And
I'm sorry. That's
kind of how I view it. That's kind of how I look at it.
I don't know. I feel like he gets the most out of Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, guys like that. Like
they're not creating shots off the dribble.
No, but I'm not saying that they're better without Luka. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think I said that. I said, to me, it looks like they play with a different type of energy when Luka's resting. I'm not saying when Luka's out for a complete game. It seems like they shoot freely and they feel like they play freely when Luka's not in the game. Of course, Luka makes them better and he puts them in a position to be successful. I think
they look pretty free in that game 7 though when he was on the court.
Look,
everybody.
I think everyone looked free in the game 7.
Yeah.
I think the Suns looked free in the game 7. I
don't know what the Suns looked.
But we're gonna get into the Suns collapse a little later. I'm not saying that they're better. That's not my point.
Right.
I think they play free. I put it like this: I don't think they're scared to take shots when Luka's not in the game because Luka's not in the game. I think when you have a person like Luka, you have a superstar like Luka, you're almost not scared to shoot the shot, but you're reluctant to because you don't want to miss or you don't want to, take that opportunity or that shot away from him. I feel like when he's not in the game, they're able to take the shots that they want to take. And now I'm not saying jack up 83s, but I'm saying the shot selection that they have when Luka's not in the game is not the shot selection they have when Luka's in the game.
You're right. It does change for sure, but I feel like they are taking wide open shots a lot of the time because of Luka. So
it's Luka presence.
Yeah.
Luka presence alone gives them better shots without Luka actually having any type of effect of scoring because defenders naturally gravitate towards Luka. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, they do play a little bit differently. And I think, Jalen Brunson has obviously a lot more freedom when he's the number one option on the court. But he still plays well next to Luka as well. So
yeah, like I don't think he plays worse I don't think Jalen Brunson, it's it's just a higher usage rate when Luka isn't on the court. I don't think it's even that he plays better. He plays to the same level he always plays to. He says the ball in his hands more often. Yeah. I think the thing you're describing when you're talking about people maybe looking freer is just people knowing their role. like you're talking about, they don't want to shoot certain shots when Luka's on the court. It's just understanding what your role is on the team. If you're Dorian Finney-Smith, your role isn't to come off a pick and roll and get in the lane and create for other people or try to ISO somebody. Your role is to be, a weak side shooter or, a catch and shoot shooter. And that's what you do because that's what you're best at.
So trying to tie into that, try to put a bow around this topic, who would you guys say is the number one key to the success of either team?
I mean, I would say we're talking about just the engine that's kind of driving everything here.
Yes.
Oh, I mean,
So the number one reason, obviously, we're going to say, despite not including stuff for Luka, because those are the obvious answers. Who is the second primary reason the Dallas Mavericks could potentially win this series? And who's the second primary reason why the Golden State Warriors could potentially win this series?
I think it's probably either Clay or Poole.
For the Warriors?
I think those guys need to be good. And, we've seen they both have been inconsistent during this run, even though they've had really good games at times. But, if they aren't playing well both at the same time, I feel like it's not unrealistic for the Mavericks to sneak up on them.
I'll say Jordan Poole for the Warriors, and I'll say Jalen Brunson for Dallas. Jordan Poole, I kind of point to because of the defense, actually. Love his game. There isn't any amount of money I wouldn't throw at Jordan Poole on his next contract. He's got to at least, he didn't do this in the Memphis series, and he has a tendency to do this sometimes. At least pretend like you want to guard somebody or play off the ball defense. And if he's gonna be like that, it's gonna be an issue. The Warriors need him out on the court, but I mean, I don't think Luka is the biggest switch hunter that we see, partially because I don't think it matters that much to him. He's gonna score on whoever. But Jordan Poole is gonna get hunted in this series, and he's got to be able to pass the test. Yeah, and on the Dallas side, it's really more that Jalen Brunson just has to keep doing what he's doing. That's not much else to say there.
I think this match favors the Warriors more than Dallas. Now, although I think they play the same type of style, I think this tailors the Warriors more because Dallas does not play big. And what we're going to see throughout this series, in which the Warriors are notorious for doing, is they make teams adjust to them. And that is so underrated when you're looking at this Golden State Warriors team, because I can go back years and seeing teams make adjustments to them. It's very rare that the Warriors, if they want to play small, that they all of a sudden wave the white flag and say, you know what, we can't play small. So teams adjust to the Warriors. So while the Warriors are playing checkers, the Mavs have to play chess, because even though the Mavs, and I don't think Mavs, obviously they have size over there, but they're going to play small. They traded Porzingis for a reason, and that reason is they wanted to play small. So this match actually favors both teams, but because of the Warriors play, I think, a better small ball lineup and they play better small, I think it favors the Warriors more. And don't get me wrong, although Luka he's going to hunt for anyone on the Warriors, Steph is going to hunt for anyone on Dallas. So they want that switch with Luka, because they know Luka is not the best defender. They know Luka is probably going to be lazy on the defensive end. So if you go back and look at the previous games, they hunted for Luka. So I think it's going to be that type of matchup where neither one of the teams is afraid of each other, and the best team will win. And I think when you look at it that way, we say we have the best version of the Warriors and the best version of the Mavs, the Warriors are just a better team. And we're going to get into our picks a little later. But if you're saying, okay, they're at their strength, they're 100%, who you got? I mean, the Warriors have a better team.